Alright, so I'm going to try and do this video justice here. I generally make videos of all of our used machines, but I rarely get to make any kind of a video on a machine like this. This is a 2013 BMW HP4 Competition, and excuse me, right out of the chute, I will let you know that this machine is immaculate, condition-wise. It is spotless, head to toe. And needless to say, the HP4 Competition, there was two versions, of course, the HP4 and the HP4 Competition. The Competition bringing a additional wealth of carbon fiber and BMW high performance componentry, along with forged wheels. So the HP4 and the BMW Racing Blue livery there, in and of itself, is a beautiful machine, but with the carbon, which is adorned and trimmed with race carbon. This isn't kind of the what you may have seen cheapy knockoff carbon that might be found on well, say probably less expensive machinery. But let's go around this thing. So the HP4 Competition that I've got here is numbered, what is it, 1,505. And excuse me for not knowing, I believe it was 2,500 models in total. I may be incorrect, but I know it was a limited run. So we're looking at 1,505 here. And while I'm at the dash, we'll go ahead and cycle the ignition so that you can see the mileage, which is 5,997. And before I finish the walk around here, let's go ahead and take a listen to the Akrapovic full system. That's a beautiful tone and a beautiful exhaust. This bike has been freshly serviced as of the making of this video. This bike has been immaculately cared for, serviced with attention to every detail, but we are quite familiar as a dealership, BMW Motorrad dealer, of course. We're familiar with this machine specifically and its history. So that makes it easier, of course, offering it and speaking on its pedigree, its history. What do you get with an HP4 Competition? Well, you get, of course, like I mentioned, all of the carbon fiber bodywork. So that would include a fully enclosed one-piece carbon race belly pan, of course, if ever the need to catch oil. BMW's HP fully adjustable rear sets, race rear sets with carbon heel guards. BMW's, all of this is BMW carbon aside from three items on here, and I'll point those out. But you've got the fuel tank trim, the trim panels here on these side fairings and the lower fairing. Additions would be, these were originally a dark smoke, and they have been traded out for a carbon version, a deflector, carbon deflector. The rear hugger here and the chain guard, which is all one piece, that is was added after the fact, and it matches nicely with the OE factory carbon. We've got the blue anodized spacer blocks here for adjusting the rear chain, rear axle sliders, and rear stand spools. Battery tender lead is already fixed there. In 2013, BMW had its gear shift assist, which would have been clutchless upshifts for that every second in the race environment circumstance. Also here we've got a smoke double bubble windscreen going. The HP4 Competition got the addition of the adjustable clutch and brake levers. They're adjustable and collapsible, both sides, in lighter weight. Dynamic damping control. So we see here on the front forks and the sensors at the rear shock here for measuring some telemetry there, and here we go. The BMW dynamic control, essentially electronic suspension. Or I'm sorry, electronic suspension, essentially race ABS, which is of course switchable. Ride modes on the 13 included rain, road, race, and slick. So a four-way adjustment there, with complete adjustability throughout that range in the traction control, automatic stability or race traction control. Built-in lap timer, and it wouldn't be BMW, of course, without heated grips. So yes, those are there. Of course, a high-performance race machine such as this would have, and you should be able to see it down there, the fully adjustable steering damper. Moving along for aftermarket accessories, so the BMW LED thin turn indicators here, both front and back. On the rear, they're attached to the Yoshimura fender eliminator kit that we take another look at that. Cleaned up the rear end quite a bit from the factory license plate holder. RNG frame sliders, RNG front axle sliders, Yoshimura case savers there. And just to be certain again, and I'll reiterate this, the previous owner to this is a one-owner machine. This was the baby, so this bike has never ever seen pavement aside from those two tires touching the ground, we'll say. The Pilion kit on the HP4 Competition, so in place of the passenger seat is the color matched rear Pilion cover. You'll notice that we have no passenger foot pegs here. The carbon hanger there holding the Akrapovic exhaust. Now, the stock components, the rear fender, license plate frame holder, rear seat, those items will go along with the bike. But in its current trim here, it is more of its track day ready or race ready setup. BMW Motorrad tank protector there, and not a scratch can be found. We'll move across the top surface here. With an HP4 Competition in essentially the same condition as it would have come off the showroom floor. Well, that's ultimately the goal, certainly in looking for something that's used. So pictures and videos don't always do something justice, and I would say in this case that would be true. The HP4 Competition, if you're looking at this in pursuit of one, well, it's as clean as you can find one out there, unless you have located one in a crate. So not enough to say on an HP4 Competition, but this is not only a beautiful machine, the inline four-cylinder, 193 horsepower, and I believe it is 437 pounds wet. if memory recalls. I believe that is the spec from BMW. So not only looking amazing, but of course the ride the ride says it all. So here you have it. European Motorcycles of Western Oregon. Give us a call, email, and thanks for looking.